You can feel the excitement and anticipation in the air.
The World Series of Poker. Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
The cards are back on the table. The chips are ready to go as we are moments away from action here on the third day one of the main event. Today, the game's greats have come out in force. But even in this star-studded field, two men clearly stand alone. Yes! Phil Hellmuth owns a record 11 bracelets.
Hellmuth wins the championship.
His resume is long.
I can dodge bullets, baby.
But he's short on temper.
Another Queen 10? Buddy, you're an idiot.
And humility.
I know what to do in the main event. And I don't just play my hands, I play their hands and them.
On the flip side, there's mild-mannered Joe Cat.
Joe Cat did it again.
Setting a record of his own with his run to the title.
Joe Cat, the youngest main event champ ever.
And now he's out to prove he's no fluke.
There is a little pressure, but there should be no reason why I shouldn't be going deep in this event.
Two champions. Two record holders.
There's the rest of the world, and there's me.
Day one of the main event begins all over again, starting now. Welcome to the World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. I'm Lon McCarran, along with Norman Chad. The masses are flooding into the Rio Poker Room as a whole new group of players begin their main event journey.
Feel good.
What really stands out today are the familiar faces scattered throughout the field, like Steve Begleiter, who was among last year's November 9. High-stakes players like Tom Dwan and Patrick Antonius are hoping for a big payday in this tournament. And two-time main event champ Johnny Chan leads a pack of 8 former world champions in attendance, hoping to make another run at the title.
You know, this is the one he's counting, you know what I mean?
But the one former champion not yet in attendance is Phil Hellmuth, who will be at table 2.
Another Poker Brat entrance? I just can't wait.
Meanwhile, currently seated at our featured table is the 2009 main event champion Joe Cata. Last year, he went through much of the field anonymously. Now, he's one of the most famous names in the poker world as he looks to defend his title today.
What do you do for a living? This?
Yeah, who doesn't play poker for a living these days?
Just hoping for a different response.
Cata sizing up his competition here at the featured table. Everyone looking to capture the main event bracelet, as Joe Cata did last year. Everyone began with 30,000 chips. Action is on Alex Gregory from Tampa, Florida on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam 7.5.
Gregory is a scrap metal buyer. That means he buys scrap metal.
He raises to 600 from Under the Gun +1 over to Joe Cata with Pocket 9s, his winning hand from last November.
And he's JCata99 online. He loves 9s.
He does call for 600. Ed Ross, Ace-7 of clubs from the cutoff.
He tapes every World Series telecast on ESPN, which means he should know I don't play Ace-7.
And he makes the call. 3 to the flop. Deuce 6-9. Cata with a set of 9s. Ross does pick up a club flush draw. Gregory with a gut shot straight draw. Something for everyone. Gregory checks. He needs an 8 for a straight. Cata checks his set. Ross
in position with the nut flush draw. A good spot for Ross to take a shot.
That's 1,100 with that draw. Now to Gregory.
Gregory has what I would call a scrap metal yard hand.
He makes the call, though. Cata,
Raise.
with the best hand, decides to check raise to 5,000.
Cata announces himself. Hey, folks, I'm the world champ, and I've got the best hand.
So what will the two amateurs do against the world champ? Ross makes the call.
Gregory's hand is the poker equivalent of bad scrap metal. Bad scrap metal, son.
Now he is thinking about it. And he decides to fold. So heads up. Ross and Cata to the turn. It's a 6 that pairs the board. Cata gets the check mark with a full boat.
Boy, this kid runs good.
Almost half the pot. 6,500 is the bet.
Ross with the nut flush draw, but he knows from watching all our shows that the check mark you just mentioned means he is drawn dead.
And Ace-7 into the muck, and Joe Cata, the world champ, will take that pot. I guess the kid still has it. Joe Cata begins his defense in strong fashion here on day one. Norman, it remains to be seen how long Joe Cata will hang on to the title youngest main event champion. No doubt his record of 21 years, 11 months will be hard to break. A still absent Phil Hellmuth held that moniker for 2 decades. But that title may be the only thing these two champions have in common.
Joe Cata drives a Jeep. Phil Hellmuth takes a limo. Joe walks quietly into the poker room. Phil needs to clear his entrances with the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce. Joe is mild-mannered at the table. Phil is Hannibal Lecter with chips. But they have each won the big one, and who knows, maybe in 20 years, Joe Cata will be the new poker brat.
Well, it may not take that long, Norman, if he keeps going 0 for 16 in World Series cashes as he did this year, and he's hoping to turn that around here in the main event. Meanwhile, over at table 2, everyone's still awaiting the arrival of Phil Hellmuth, who may now have a target on his back.
So everyone's clear. After Hellmuth gets here, we have $100 ahead. Anybody that takes him out gets the bounty from the table. Yep.
I've got my 100 right here, Lon. Who do I give it to?
Well, even when he's not here, Phil is always the center of attention. Out in the field, 10-time bracelet winner Johnny Chan is getting a lot of attention. Chan just called the all-in of Matt Lessinger, who flopped a set of 8s, but Chan with a set of 10s and most of his chips in the pot has a chance to get a leg up on the field. Lessinger gets no help on the river. He's knocked out, and Johnny Chan has a bunch of chips.
So Johnny Chan essentially is starting this main event with twice as many chips as everybody else. That doesn't seem entirely fair.
What a start for the 2-time world champ. Across the room, 98 main event champ Scotty Wynn in a hand with Matthew Ashton. The river card just came out, both checked. Scotty just waves the white flag, and Ashton will take that pot. He won it with a pair of queens.
You know one thing about me, baby? If I lost a hand, I don't get mad at the player or dealer. I get mad at myself, you know? How stupid can I play, you know what I mean?
The only man to win the main event and the $50,000 Horse World Championship, so he's not playing too stupid too often.
Elsewhere, Daniel Negreanu is saying, I am committed to this hand. He re-raised all-in against the amateur David Orr from Carlsbad, California.
Ready to be the hero?
No, I want to play some more, though.
That's what I was hoping. Because I have absolutely nothing right now, but I do have a draw, a very big draw.
Wow, this early on day 1? Can Daniel really be shoving all in on a semi-bluff? This is for his tournament.
Orr lays it down, and Daniel Negreanu will carry on.
Is everything you were saying true?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Daniel getting aggressive here early on day 1. Meanwhile, over at table 2, we're